Oh, hello there. Hi. Yeah, you might have noticed that my camera is focusing on this instead of me. What is that? What is this, you might ask? This is my magic staff. This is no innuendo. I mean, don't take it weird. This is my magic staff, like what Frieren has. If you try to click off this video, pow, pow. You know that snipe Frieren pulled off on that plant creature last episode? Yeah, there'll be, there might be a bit of mirroring to that. Boom. And you may even be wondering, what kind of guy threatens his viewers at the beginning of the video? That's me. We're here with Frieren, episode 16 of season 1 here, up and ready to go. I don't know what we're doing. I'm going to put this away because I trust that I won't need to use it. Yeah, I think, I don't know. I remember I saw the teaser for this one. It was like Long Live Friends or something. So I imagine we'll meet some old folk or something like that. I don't know. So I'm just going to hop right into the episode and see what we get into. So let's go. Take our photo. What's that? I was going to say, that's a thing. Just like a... What is this? I'm getting some rough vibes from it. Like, they're setting him up as this really, really nice dude. Even as a kid, he was just he was looking out for Sign, right? Sign was obviously this sort of, I don't know if I'd say antisocial, but he kept to himself sort of thing. It seemed like he didn't even care what a photo was, even though most kids his age would probably be like, oh, I mean, sure, a maid says he's going to do something, let's go check it out. That sort of Sign. Not much interest there, but this kid, he was like, oh, you idiot. Okay, if I have to drag you there, I will. So it seemed like he cared about Sign. He was good enough friends with him. And we know that Sign obviously saw him as a great friend from what we've heard. So I think what I'm trying to say is I feel like he's going to be dead. I mean, that's sort of like, they've exert, what's that word again? They've subvert expectations. That's the word. That's what I was looking for. Subverted my expectations before. So maybe not. I could be wrong, but I mean, if he ends up being dead, they've already made him good enough that that's gonna suck. Friend of mine. Nice. Before he dies. Oh, he's getting close to the end. Decade or so. Shut up. Get 1 week. Oh, come on. That's like a second in her time. I'm gonna have to cut that right there. That sucks. Why did I have to get a voice crack right there? Am I gonna keep it in? I don't know. We'll see. Damn. Even at like 300 years old, boy is posted up. Who are you? Ooh. Yep. Mind ain't what it used to be. Oh. Bro just had to test his mettle. He's like, nah, he don't got it. Not quite like me. Yeah. Bro underestimated his opponent. Didn't even know he was an opponent. Hey, but it does teach a lesson. I mean, kind of a much needed one, because I was a little bit too easy. As a warrior, I think you're kind of expected to always have some sort of, barrier up, some sort of defense. I think Stark still has to kind of get a hang of that. So happily. Conversation, yep. So even with like the people he's closest to, the villagers, the people he sees on a daily basis, he still acts senile. Like he can't even talk with them. I guess bro just likes to be alone. Like, damn, start putting the big work. Oh, bro's falling asleep. Bro even get to eat. Your wife loves. Long time ago. Yeah, I mean hundreds of years ago, probably. Yeah, time is a bit of a curse like that, right? Oh, into a dead woman. Just means it actually meant something to you, right? She's like, yeah, watching over. Knows that you truly had that bond. Yep. Yep. It's like I'm already happy as I am. Yeah, if I have to. Not like you're gonna give me a choice. You know what? There's some things that don't need to be remembered. That's sweet though. Like just a personal bond he made hundreds of years ago is what's been keeping him going for the rest of his lifetime. Like he's already right now close to the end of his life and he's still keeping that promise. He could have given up probably, like, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, even as a dwarf. Like you probably get tired, right? You probably just want to maybe, I don't know, retire, just relax for the end of your life. No, this man, he's like, no, I made a promise to my wife, somebody I loved, somebody I made a bond with. And I think that kind of inspired Frieren to, even if she didn't show it at the time, it would have stayed in her head. Like, oh yeah, so someone who lived at least, you know, not as long as me, but still a pretty long time, was able to make that sort of connection with somebody that it meant something that much to them. Collection fans, exactly. Yeah, could have had some other good knowledge in there instead, but oh well. Okay, getting defensive about it. Yeah. It's not her eyes. Burn something. Yeah, even though he doesn't know the details, like the fine details of why he did it, just keeps going. I don't think he was joking on that one, was he? Yeah. Years ago, yeah, bro's still kicking. But it seems like maybe, even though he lived this long, he is still susceptible to the same things that human minds are. It seems like even though he likes to act senile, I think there is like actually a little bit going on there, because I don't think he was joking when he said that he wants to see the Demon King defeated. I don't know, you know, there could be the case that maybe nobody ever told him. Like they said, the villagers don't even, like, they can't hold a conversation with him, right? But he probably would have noticed him celebrating or something along the way. So I imagine he just genuinely forgot, because, you know, he is old, right? I imagine at this point he is probably fairly close to the end of his life. I mean, what was it, 30 or what was it, 80 years ago? When Frieren was with Himmel and the party, right? He still looked old. So he was probably already close to the end of his life, like he had said. So now I imagine it's pretty damn close. It's probably coming on here soon. But it is really sweet that even though he can't remember his wife's face or her voice or really anything about her, probably can't even remember like their life together all that well, what they did together, he just knows that there was something important. He just has that overall sensation that he was doing this for a good reason, and that's why it's kept him going. That's just incredibly like kind and sweet of him to just, first of all, be in a relationship with a human. Probably took a lot of guts for him, because he knew that it wasn't going to last as long as, you know, he would like for it to. But even after that, he didn't just move on. He didn't just move on to the next thing. He didn't just continue on his life. He stuck with that, man. He took those wedding oaths seriously, bro. Till death do us part. Like even him, it didn't even matter hers. It was just him. He's sticking true to that shit. Wow. Oh. I may expect the past. Was Rim able to remember something about her? Maybe the face? The voice and everything. Yeah, yeah, that's it's like 50-50. Sure. Yeah, finding his buddy. Unique name and unique personality. Filled with joy. Kind of like a Himmel clone, right? Gorilla Warrior. Yeah, I'd remember that. I'd be like, you see that goofy guy walking down the road saying his name's Goofy Goober? Yeah, you ain't forgetting that anytime soon. Does bro not know his real name? I mean, you guys, I'm kind of more shocked that they have gorillas in this world. Like, I guess it makes sense, but it's just something you never think about. We saw a bear, like a huge bear that Vol was fighting a few minutes ago, but a gorilla. I want to see a magic gorilla running around. Goatee. Yep, great nickname. Yeah, of course. Okay. Yeah, so he was putting in the work too. Huh? What's with all these self-proclaimed nicknames going around? Y'all really like Gorilla Warrior, Goatee Priest, Stubborn Old Woman? You guys can't be more. I mean, Gorilla Warrior is pretty creative in its own right, but you know there could be, it could have a better ring to it. There could be some improvements made. Putting us right to work. Oh, yikes. Bro, how many monsters? Oh, a lion too. Okay. Lion, ox. What kind of creature is that again? With the big horns? Giselle? Lion Giselle crossbreed? That's kind of ironic. Isn't the Giselle like the most famous creature for getting killed by the lion? It seems like many, I mean, not that I'm ripping on it because we've seen it many times before in other shows, but many of the monsters just seem like overgrown animals. I mean, just chickens, bears, lion, Giselle. Especially, I was going to say, I mean, I think the best socially like adaptable person is Sign, and that's really not saying much. Goatee priest. So wait, how long has bro had the goatee? If Gorilla Warrior hasn't seen him in 10 years, I mean, I guess that would have been, he would have been old enough to have the goatee. I just can't remember. I think he did. I was gonna say, so man's stuck with Goatee Priest for 10 years? It's never faded? Like, people keep calling, or does he call it to him himself, like, solely? Is he the one keeping it alive? Frieren's like, oh yeah, I knew that guy. Oh, Kraft? That son of a bitch. Oh, he knows him? Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, it's only been 80 years, right? Probably within another 100, it'll kind of just start to fade. That's my name. What gorilla? You remember the name? Okay, I mean, sure. First thing that popped into his head, maybe. It's like, what creature is like huge, muscular? Gorilla. Oh, come on. It would be a hider that came up with that sort of shit. But he was a child, bro. Oh, because he had it. Oh, that's kind of deep, though. I like it. So, his nickname was Goatee Priest from when he was like a kid. right? But it was because of this statue. So Sign might have even grown his goatee just because of that memory, because of the nickname. So he remembered this moment, and he's like, yeah, goatee priest. See if it matches me. And it does. It matches him. It turned out pretty well. Hyder had some good taste. Yeah, still. She looks so depressed. He's from a separate direction. Yeah. Are we splitting up? Already? It's only been like 2 episodes, man. You can't just leave us. But I get it. Okay, cliffhanger. Sure, why not? That's okay. I'm watching the next episode in like a few minutes anyway. For you guys, it sucks. I understand it fully. If he wants to go be with it, like try to find his friends, then that's fine. It's just, I love his character, man. I actually really like his character and the developments that he's had, the little development he's had, because he's just been like a good friend to everybody so far. He's been nice with helping Fern out with some Stark issues, boy troubles. He's kind of been like the bro that Stark needed, that extra guy, level out the genders a bit. And it's obvious that Frieren, enjoys his company as sort of like a more mature-minded person, while, she can fake it as good as anybody else can. Well, not quite as good, but she has her moments, but it seems like Sign really is kind of, sort of the grounding of the group. Like he's a bit more of the logical, like normal average Joe. There's still some weird parts about him, but he's kind of just the rock, I think, is the best way that I'm going to describe him. I don't know. I just really like how he meshes with the rest of the party, and it's going to be kind of sad if he ends up leaving, but it would also be sad if he didn't, right? If he ended up giving up on finding his friend just to go to Owlburst first. It's just the only thing I'm thinking is, I don't know how long ago it was that Guerrilla Warrior had come to this village. It could have been like all the way 10 years ago. He might have showed up at Tur, immediately did a U-turn and went the other way. Like, it kind of sucks, man. But 10 years is a lot of time for somebody to, make their way around. His whole thing, being an adventurer, is literally adventuring. It's not like he would have went to Tur and then, or Tour, I don't know how it's pronounced. I've never, the U with the 2 dots above it. I'm not too sure. He could have went to Tour and then immediately went somewhere else, kept adventuring like he said he wanted to do. I think whatever decision he ends up making, it's going to feel a little bit bittersweet either way. Like either we lose him or he kind of possibly loses his friend's trail. Whatever he chooses, I mean, I'm not gonna like rip into him if he chooses to leave or anything. I'm just sad. I like him. I like his character. I like the dynamics that they have going so far. They've done a really good job with his character for him only being here for 3 episodes in total, maybe. Even so, like Guerrilla Warrior, in just this episode, they made him like a really likable dude. I like how quickly they're able to make us enjoy these characters. Right at the very beginning, when they showed him kind of getting signed to take the picture or the photo, it just kind of helped us to like him a bit more, because he wasn't leaving Sign to be like the antisocial kid. He wanted him to experience the same stuff that he was. He knew he had this passion for adventuring and magic and all the fun stuff that he needed to share with somebody. And Sign was kind of like the friend that he wanted to share with. So he forced him into it. Even when Sign showed no interest, he's like, yeah, you're going to do it. And that led to the future Sign wanting to go adventuring, to help find him, to help Frieren and them on their adventure. So we even have to give him props for like getting him into that sort of thing. I have to give him respect for that. But he just seems like such a good dude. Like even 10 years ago when he was talking to this lady, he still kept talking about Goatee Priest and how good of a dude he is, how he wants to be remembered in history together with him. I hope Gorilla's okay, man. I hope he's fine, because he needs that closure of what happened to basically his best friend, right? And I don't know. It's so sad that there's a crossroads, a metaphorical crossroads he has to choose right now. But I mean, we knew it was coming anyway. He has to make his own decision of what he wants to do. I think the rest of the party would understand 100% if he chooses to go the other way. That he's been very clear about that being his motive, to find his friend. And that's kind of what I'm expecting. I am expecting him to leave because he's made friends. He's gotten bonds with the party, but I mean, his friend is important to him. So if that's what happens, that's what happens. The rest of the episode, the beginning of the episode with Old Man Vole, like the first half, it was really good too. It was nice to see the perspective of somebody who lives longer than humans, but not as long as Frieren. Someone kind of a little bit in the middle, who experiences humanity a little bit closer than Frieren was able to, because he was able to gain a bond with somebody, with his wife. Frieren, that's sort of something that eluded her for a long time, is when you live as long as Frieren does, like thousands and thousands of years, then it's kind of difficult to even logically decide to have a relationship. Emotionally too, it's like, 100 years for Frieren really isn't that long of a time. So getting with a human would be way too complicated, I think, for her. Plus, she's an adventurer too. She likes to, go around, do that, collect her spells, go to different cities, different countries, continents, whatever. They'd have to be a companion, and then they'd never really settle, which is something that humans eventually kind of like to do. They strive for. So her and a human would be a little bit too complicated. Her and Himmel was sort of like a not meant to be relationship. What's that? Forbidden love, I guess you could call it. For somebody like Vole, a dwarf who only lives 300 years, it's a bit more realistic to look for something like that. That even when your wife passes away, you don't have a huge amount of time left, depending on your perspective. So it was nice to see how he thought of things, how even though it's been like probably 100 or so years since his wife died, he's still kicking, still keeping his promise to her, showing that those sorts of bonds can last an incredible amount of time, lifetimes. And that's shown in Frieren before with Himmel. Like, it's been 80 years and she still hasn't forgotten about him, hasn't wrote him out to be like, oh, just another phase in her life, that sort of thing. She's taking him the most seriously that she's kind of taken anybody. And hopefully that can continue. I don't know if that's kind of what the point of this was to show that Vole, someone who's even at the end of their life, still remembers those sorts of bonds. I imagine that could be the same case with Frieren. Like, even though she lives for a much longer time, I imagine she'll remember Himmel until, the day she dies. It was just kind of to show, like, how even for non-humans, those sort of human-like bonds are strong, like love, connection, that sort of thing. It has an effect on them, a big effect on them, even if they might be turned away from it just because of the age difference, the lifespan. There is definitely like positives to it as well. And it is sad that he's sort of starting to forget his wife. He said he forgot her face, her voice, that sort of thing. But the fact that he dreamed about her at the end, that shows promise. It shows that there is, a reason to continue on with it. Because what if he had given up and then dreamed of his wife? Then he would have felt disappointment, would have felt depressed, probably. So it shows that there is a reason to keep going, right? And I like that messaging. I like how kind of positive it is. It's not like, oh yeah, we live hundreds of years, we're just going to continue doing our thing. That's the realistic thing. No, they want to show that bonds are kind of the most important, I guess. And that's kind of what the show is about, man. Making bonds, making connections with people. Someone like Frieren, who never really did it before, finally has been doing it with many people, first with Himmel's party, now with her own party. I am happy for Sign because, he gets to make this decision. Maybe we'll find his friend soon. But I'm not looking forward to next episode if he leaves us. That's for damn sure. So anyway, I think that's it for this episode, man. I don't have much else to say. So if you enjoyed, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated on this series or any of my other series that I'm currently doing. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments on the episode, video, whatever you want to say. And there's a Patreon link down in the description. Gives you early access to all my videos and all that good stuff. And that's it. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll talk to you all later. Peace.